The problem with us Brits is that we have a lot of old buildings. We haven't fully appreciated what we have. These buildings are something that's never going to be here again. They're unique. It's something that if we're not careful, we will lose never to see again. So for me, it's personally very, very important. It's my and yours historical heritage. New technology has without doubt the potential to make a huge difference to maintaining this property. We're on the periphery of the second city of the UK, Birmingham city that is, and yet where Castle Bromwich Hall sits is in itself a little idyll. You have to make an effort to actually find the building. The site means a great deal to me, as the building is really rather unique. It was built in the latter part of the 17th century. It was sold to the Bridgeman family. Lady Bridgeman was keen on gardening. The gardens at Castle Bromwich are a wonderful example of a 17th century garden, full of interest, architecturally designed to keep people's interest. We can no longer afford an army of gardeners. However, we can use new technology to give us the same standard of finish without employing huge amounts of people. It's nice to think that these trees might be around in another few hundred years' time, as long as they continue to be maintained. Technology is helping us to maintain these much more easily than it has been in the past. The biggest challenge, without a doubt, is constant maintenance. The majority of work to be done is to maintain the grass. The quality of the grass, the height of the grass, it's so very important to keep that grass at a certain level. The box hedging, it's a constant job. There's quite a lot of it, of course, so therefore it's one of those jobs you cannot afford to leave. We were keen to find an alternative to carbon-based tools, and the Cramer range of tools seemed to provide the ideal answer. We used strimmers, hedge cutters, sit-on mowers and hand mowers, all are battery operated. It's been a total success. How are you finding the new machines, Bugdish?
I'm so happy for new product. Future is everything, it's electric.
So we made the right choice?
Yes.
After the upfront costs, the maintenance costs are so much lower and the running costs are actually so much lower. One of the major benefits of using electric tools is that we don't have the smell or the polluting effects by using petrol-driven gardening tools. The majority of the gardening work is done in early mornings. We need to be very conscious of the disturbance that we might make by us changing to battery-driven gardening tools. It means that we can do early morning cuts without necessarily disturbing the occupants of the room. I think electric tools are going to go from strength to strength. We've now got AI, we're now using tools that don't necessarily have to be handled by an individual, such as automatic lawn cutting. There are huge benefits for the future by using electric tools. If, for example, if we call this zone 1, this particular patch of grass, do you have to map it out before you can actually use the machine?
Yes, you just use the app and walk with it to map your area.
And then once you've done this for one area, presumably you choose another area, that becomes another zone.
Yes, so you can just switch between the zones. So it's really good for a property like this with many different mowing areas.
I got you. My personal feelings are not so much for the past, it's more for the future. I feel particularly honoured to have been a small part, in retaining this uniqueness of the 17th century, to be able to pass on to our children and our children's children. My attitude is that the only way that we can make our society be successful is to socialise. And places like Castle Bromwich provide that centre where people and communities can come together. As I walk round the building itself, I feel a certain amount of pride and a privilege that I was allowed to play some part in maintaining its future.